Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. Sorry, I had some technical difficulties with my mic. It's good now. And I'm here to talk about this let's just talk about this volume that I'm noticing. Something interesting is going on with Bitcoin's volume. And, of course, there's always a lot of stuff to talk about. So let's get started. Smash the like, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit that notification bell to get notified of all my streams. Follow me on social media. Check out CryptosRUs.com and check out all my other channels as well. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you may be. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let me fix this screen here. Hopefully you guys are doing well. You know, Bitcoin had a pretty good day, all things considering. Right? Back above 20,000. This morning we were below 20,000, right? And the US markets were in red and then actually flipped. And tomorrow's looking, well, it's flat. It's flat tomorrow, but overall, you know what? I don't know, a little bit. Let's just call it a little bit of a recovery. So that's good. Makes us a little bit less worried about this week. At least we started out not so bad, right? Last week, we're still recovering from that absolutely horrible week from last week, but we are recovering a little bit. So that's good. And also I saw a couple of headlines I want to share with you guys, at least for those of us in the US. I know a lot of you guys are watching from overseas. Can't really comment on how the economy is, how people are feeling in other countries. But what's interesting is, in America, at least according to CNBC, so you got to take it with a grain of salt, there are fewer Americans that are saying they're living paycheck to paycheck as inflation begins to ease. Interesting. We have heard of Elon say that he believes inflation has peaked because commodity prices have come down, right? We have seen CPI number and PCE numbers indicate inflation is coming down slightly, right? But we heard from Powell, he's going to still be very serious and very hawkish, right? Until inflation really comes down in a meaningful way. But according to this, hey, a lot fewer Americans are saying they're living paycheck to paycheck as inflation eases. So things are getting cheaper. Gasoline prices are coming down. Food prices coming down a little bit, right? This is a good thing. This is a very good thing. This is what we want to see, right? Again, got to take it with a grain of salt, but it's encouraging to see that the U.S. economy is still doing well, has not collapsed like a lot of people have forecasted, right? So we're recovering. So this is what we want to see. And speaking of Americans, 78% of Americans seek diversification with crypto. Right? Obviously, a lot of people have heard of crypto, heard of Bitcoin. People are like wondering what's going on, right? Do I need to get my cash out? Do I need to get something better, right? Because of inflation and because of everything else is going on. 78% seeks diversification. And 46%, here's the big surprise, 46% that have invested in crypto are satisfied. You would figure right now, with Bitcoin being where it is, maybe like 5% would be satisfied. No, 46% surveyed said they're still satisfied. It could be because large amount of people surveyed were in it, back in 2020 when things were much lower, or in it since 2017, right? Maybe they've been holding for quite some time. So this is interesting. But overall, we know that the appetite for Bitcoin, for crypto, for blockchain, for decentralization, right? The appetite for it is only increasing, right? So good overall, good. So I want to start out with some good news tonight. What else is there? I did mention about this morning. This brought Avalanche down in a big way, and an XRP a little bit too. Both are recovering, but supposedly this one lawyer that was accused of, helping Avalabs spread rumors and all this stuff, right? That's supposed to be like, his job was supposed to be like spreading FUD about competitors, stuff like that. He's saying it's all fake. he was recorded, but it was under false pretenses. It was heavily recorded, heavily edited, excuse me, and basically saying that all this is nonsense, right? And Avalabs came out and said, yeah, we don't use this guy at all, hardly for anything. So I think that's good, right? We hate to see projects get desperate enough where they're trying to run smear campaigns, on their competition. Like, I don't think we're there yet, right? Right now, the industry is still so early, still growing. I know, everyone is very tribalistic. They're trying to protect their bags, right? But hopefully, projects themselves are not resorting to this, not playing dirty, right? And Brad Garlinghouse was also accused of doing this with some other lawyer, right? And he has come out and said that's utterly nonsense. So good to hear. Hopefully this is true. But I'm sure more information will come out as time goes on, right? So there's that. So that's good. Now the third largest time we've seen this with Bitcoin volume, that's the main topic. Well, I did see this come out, right? And I've seen this before, but, basically sometimes with all the information that's presented to us, with all the metrics, models, and indicators that we have, right? Sometimes you just got to look at the basics, okay? Use common sense and look at 2 plus 2. What does that equal? Does it equal 3 or 4, right? So basically what this guy is pointing out, Income Sharks, is you look at these sell volumes, right? These large candlesticks indicating extremely large sell volumes. And the last 2, right, they indicated bottoms during a correction or during some fearful time. For example, the end of 2020, not end of March of 2020, we saw a huge red candlestick, right? That was a major sell-off point when Bitcoin fell below 30,000. What am I saying? 30,000. Fell below 4,000. And then you could see back in 2021, we also had a very steep drop when Bitcoin fell down to about 28,000, right? You could see these large volumes, sell volumes, right? And we saw one not too long ago when Bitcoin hit that 17,000, right? So whenever you see these major sells, usually that means good things are going to follow, because you had a mass amount of panic selling, a ton of people getting out, right? And usually when you see that happen, when there's blood covering up the streets, guess what you're supposed to do? You're supposed to be buying, right? But everyone else is selling. So that's usually, you just use some common sense and look at it that way, right? Now, obviously, things can change. You could argue, well, maybe there's another, sell-off. Maybe, right? But you look at history and you go all the way back to some of these previous bottoms and corrections. What happened, right? You had something that caused massive amount of selling, right? And then you would see a massive, red candlestick of selling, and then that's what you see, or red bar, I should say, right? And you see it, this is not, there's no arrow, but back in 2018, when we had that bottom down to 3,000, you also saw a huge sell-off too, right? So there's been many times where this is a good indicator of a bottom and good indicator of when to buy and good indicator of a reversal. That's all. Not 100%, but it's a pretty good one. And of course, a lot of whales, right? They use these kind of indicators and buy. So recently, these whales, anywhere between 100 to 10,000 Bitcoins. So maybe not all whales, but you have like dolphins and sharks and whales. I like to call them sea mammals, but really sea creatures. They're stacking up, right? They're definitely stacking up. And like I said, these guys are the ones that know you don't buy towards the bottom. You don't buy toward the top. You buy toward the bottom, right? When everyone is fearful and when blood is covered in the streets. So there you go. It makes sense. What else is there? This is also very encouraging. 65% of all Bitcoin has not moved in a year. 65%? That's a huge amount. 65% of all Bitcoin has not moved in 1 year. That's very encouraging. That's very positive if you think about it. And then lastly, as for cycles, this is interesting. Looking at some of the previous cycles, halving events that have occurred going to 2013, back to 2013, 2017, and 2021, right? You look at what has happened, there's usually like a bottom event, but there's usually a time, I guess according to Bitcoin Magazine, where there's a time where it's a good entry price, right? Good entry zone. That's a better way to put it. Even though during the entry zone, it could still go up and down, but generally speaking, that's like the good entry zone before you have a good move upwards. And if we're following the previous two halving events, we're in that zone right now, right? And within that zone, normally you find that bottom. It may not be right at the beginning of the zone. It could be toward the beginning, somewhere toward the beginning or the middle, right? And then you kind of just DCA during this zone, you dollar cost average, load your bags, and then you wait. And then after you get out of the zone, what happens? Well, generally speaking, you have a pretty good run afterwards, right? So we couldn't be in that zone. A lot of people are looking at the next halving event, which is coming in 2024, so roughly a year and a half or so, right? So it marks that zone. So we could be right there. There you go. There you go. All right. What else is there? Well, good news for XRP holders. 500 million XRP, 161 million, leaves crypto exchange Kraken. So someone bought 161 million worth of XRP. That's pretty good. So XRP army, among the strongest within a crypto space, right? And like those big Bitcoin whales I was showing you, right? There's XRP Whales that's also stocking up right now while things are still cheap. And who knows, maybe the SEC lawsuit will come to a conclusion in 2023 finally, right? Hoping that the SEC lose. I really hope Gary Gensler loses. I hope that he doesn't get more power hungry. Let's just put it that way, right? So maybe the whales are anticipating good things are to come. So there's that. What else is there? I guess this is good, showing again more adoption. Meta, Facebook, Instagram is adding Ethereum, Polygon, and Flow NFTs within the platform, so you can actually showcase your NFT from these three chains within Instagram and Facebook. Interesting. You just have to connect to your wallet, right? I don't know the purpose outside of just showing off what you have. I think that's the only purpose. But, it does show that Meta is, getting serious about crypto. Of course, they have their own ambitions with their own metaverse, but they are going hardcore into NFTs. They're doing what they can to kind of separate themselves from TikTok, because from what I'm hearing about, Instagram is a total disaster, a cluster F, and it's just losing to TikTok in a major way. So I think they're trying what they can to kind of compete at this point. But it's good. Still, Meta is still one of the biggest tech companies out there. Maybe they're go follow this with other things that we don't know about yet. So overall, it's good. Good stuff. I did see, I talked about Cardano this morning about Vasil, right? In terms of the SPOs, we officially hit 75% on this new 135.3. So that means the hard fork is ready to go. It really dependent on the exchanges. So basically, Charles mentioned this morning about exchanges upgrading, getting ready. So that's the next step. So that hard fork is coming sooner than later. It's probably just right around the corner, right? So look forward to that. And Cardano, they were at Stanford, I think, today, just talking about blockchain, about Cardano, about a lot of stuff. So pretty good for the future leaders of the world, I guess, from Stanford. They're getting more exposure from Charles and from team and about blockchain. And then VeChain, I saw this. VeChain also announced a strategic integration with TruTrace technology, Canadian SaaS platform. So we've been hearing a lot more from VeChain recently, right? They've been making a push to the West, and that's exactly what they're doing now. You're seeing a lot more collaboration with people. This one is a SaaS platform, right? But basically utilizing VeChain, their tool set, their blockchain for traceability, verification, identity service, all that, right? So we're seeing a lot more of that, and that's good for VeChain overall. All right. I think that's it. There's not much. Let's see. Let's update CMC. The global market cap went up about 4% today. Still under $1 trillion. Like to see us get above $1 trillion. The week is young. I'm glad to see Ethereum come up, 7%. Ethereum sold off like so much recently. People are just panic dumping Ethereum for no good reason other than fear. But yeah, good to see that they're coming back a little bit. A lot of other projects starting to come back a little bit, right? Like I said, the week is young. We'll see what happens remainder of this week. All right, let's do some Q&A. The weak is young and the young are weak. Max, that's a good one. That's a good one. All right, let me scroll up here. Someone, Orion Protocol Whale, you think we bottom at 10K? No, I don't think we bottom at 10K. USA has less than 50% of crypto investors in the world. Yeah, okay. I don't know the official numbers. Sounds about right. Let's see. 2 plus 2 equals 69. 2 plus 2 equals Bitcoin Cash. Yeah, that's about right. I can't disagree with that. Matt T, yeah, that's what I do. Let's see. A lot of people are happy about XRP. I'm gonna show off my George Strap-on NFT. Good, show it proudly, Jeremy. Let's see. I want more Cosmos under 10 or 8. That's gonna be tough. Recently, they've been doing really well because Van Eyck actually posted a whole thing about Cosmos, and they're very bullish on Cosmos, so it really pumped them up. So I think they're back above 11 again really quickly, so that's good. You see Bone today? No, I saw Sheeb went up a lot. I didn't see what Bone did. I don't pay attention to other Sheeb tokens. I just pay attention to Sheeb. Let's see. You're going next year to Vegas for F1 Grand Prix. Scooby-Doo, I don't know. F1's not my thing, but Vegas is a fun place to visit. So maybe, who knows? Maybe I went there last year to scout a hotel for GeorgeCon. But that was when, things just opened up. So a lot of restaurants, buffets, shows, all that stuff was still closed. I hear it's all open again. So I may have to visit again. Maybe next year. What about Axie? I haven't heard much about Axie these days. Not much. Not much at all. I am curious what they're up to. Wasif, CRO Lon Mars, that just sounds horrible, man. So, no, it's not a hidden gem. It's a piece of garbage is what it is. It sounds like it's a copy of Elon Mars. So, yeah, no. Jeff, hey, appreciate it, man. Greetings from Mexico. Thoughts on Block, Metaverse on Polygon. Isn't that Blocktopia? Yeah, it was very hyped up. Very hyped up before by several influencers. I think this is the one where there's like a building with 21 floors or something like that, and you're purchasing something within the floors. Yeah, something like that. I'm just gonna say no, not for me. Circuit supply also looks horrible. 9% out of the max and total supply. Yeah, no for me. Can I dunk on a standing room? No. During my peak in my 20s, I still couldn't. Even though I jumped higher after my peak because I started doing more leg exercise in my 30s. So I was able to touch rim barely, but never close to dunking. And my knees, one of my knees is shot right now. So I'm trying to get back in shape, losing some weight, and I have been successful losing some weight, but man, it's tough to get, once you injure your legs, it's hard to recover from that, especially when you're older. But no, I never had the hops. Not like guys like today who have all learned all the crazy exercises to do, and everyone has like a 40-inch vertical. It's crazy. Seems like everyone has a 40-inch vertical and everyone could shoot from half court now. That's not how it was when I was a teenager and in my 20s. That wasn't common, but it seems like it's very common these days. Bones did a double up. Good. Robert, thank you for that. Do you think CRO will ever grow like Binance? Yes, but they're just nowhere close to Binance. I mean, they're very, very far off. I don't know. Maybe they regret buying the naming rights to the Stable Center. So they call it, was it Crypto.com Center? Maybe they regret spending so much money, $700 million. I don't know. But I think they'll recover when obviously the market does better. They have their own chain. They're growing their DeFi on that chain, and they have their wallets, obviously, their exchange. They still have staking. They have not shut down their staking either. So, yeah, they're still doing okay. What are your thoughts on ADA after the Vasil hard fork? I hope good things. It looks like it's a very significant update. As significant as ETH moving to 2.0, really. So hopefully good things come. I think right now, you still have a lot of dApps that I don't know if they don't know how to use smart contracts properly or because the chain is really slow, but you just don't see the same kind of TVL on the Cardano as some of the other chains, right? So maybe after Vasil becomes easier to program, the chain becomes more scalable, and better things come. So I guess we'll see. What blockchain will Starbucks choose? All these big brands choose Polygon. So most likely Polygon. Someone said I missed a super chat. I scrolled through. I don't think I missed anything. When will the bull run start again? Probably next year. I'd say the latter half of next year is when things get really exciting. This year is definitely, all about macro stuff, about inflation, right? Even though, to look at it glass half full. Even though Bitcoin's price has come down, even though there is high inflation, even though economies are slowing down now, right? But people are starting to realize that they need to do something with their money. They can't just hold cash. They need to buy things that will hedge against inflation, not just short term, but long term. So it's opening people's eyes to Bitcoin and other decentralized projects out there. So I do think 2021 really drew people in because the price. 2022 is opening people's eyes to really looking for something else besides just fiat. So I think in 2023, when some of the macro conditions settle down, energy prices come down, supply chain issues come down, hopefully inflation comes down, rate hikes come down, right? And 2023 could be a good recovery year. Rich Q, it's a great time to be alive. That's always true. That's always true. Let's see. How do you feel about the NFT market? Will it recover too? Well, I mean, I just covered about Meta. You know, Meta pretty much going all in on NFTs right now. So NFT market will recover. The NFT the name itself, NFT, has like a bad rep, I feel like, because people think it's only about selling, you know, digital art and that's it. No, NFT is really about selling utility, selling a digital contract. But most people don't view it that way. But there will be a lot more to NFTs besides what's going on right now, right? So it's very early, very, very early. So yes, I do think it'll come back, and I don't think it'll ever go away. I think a lot of the stuff will transition to NFTs. Basically, anything that you need to verify authenticity, right, will transition to NFT. Any kind of platform, verification system, any method, storage, anything that revolves around authenticating something will be based on NFTs and will be stored on a blockchain. What year did you first get the internet? Ooh, I don't know. I remember when I was growing up, it was all about dial-up, you know, and then when I got a little bit older, that's when AOL got very popular. But I don't know the exact year or how old I was. People are asking how old I am. You know, I'm going to do a poll. Because before, I used to always look young, right? Kind of got a baby face going on. These days, I can't really say that anymore because people don't think I'm in my 20s. So, how old do you think I am? Let's see if I can put some questions. 22. Let's see here. 25 to 30. 30 through 35. 35 through 40. 40 through 45. All right, you guys vote. I put a poll out. No, don't type it in. Use the poll. Use the poll. I just put the poll out. I remember those CDs that AOL gave out. And it used to be that they had these gimmicks like, oh, you get like 100 free minutes per month. And then they upped it to like something staggering, like 800 free minutes. Or no, 800 free hours per month. And then it became unlimited. And it was such a pain to try to cancel your AOL membership. They would say, oh, we'll give you this, and we'll give you that, we'll give you this. And they just will not take no for an answer, right? Yeah, I've been giving clues on how old I am. Like, obviously, I've been saying I played D2 during my college days. So that's probably a good giveaway. Tiberius still has those discs. Were you ever in IRC chat? Not much. Not much. All right, what's the poll looking like? You guys are close. 44% thinks I'm between 35 and 40, and 44% thinks I'm between 40 and 45. 11% thinks I'm 30 to 35. So, unfortunately, most people are pretty accurate at guessing what age I am. $25 to 30 is not realistic. I'll give you a story. When I was like probably when I was like 28 or 30, I still got carded to a rated R movie. So think about that. I used to look pretty young. I got so pissed too. I think it was for one of the Scream movies. I forgot which one it was, but I got carded. I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm not 18. Yeah, those days are gone. It's okay. Yeah, I guess it's just being crypto and doing all these shows have aged me tremendously. All right. I guess it's time to call it a night. Overall, we had a good day, right? We'll take it. Things are recovering. Let's see what happens tomorrow or later this week. Our investors go pour their money back in, right? Maybe. But there's always something to look forward to. So make sure you stay patient, stay strong, and continue to tune in. Tomorrow, 8:15 a.m. Central Standard Time. All right? Smash the like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care. Michael, last question. Lumium dropped to 75. Can they continue gaming project with reduced market capital? Yeah, they should not be operating off of their token price. Really, they should be operating based on investments they have received. So hopefully. All right. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.